What is up, guys? It is Gospel here with Weird Gaming Adventure, and today we're going to talk about the Pyromancer at level 30, so let's just jump into it.
With Pyromancer, you can expect unbelievably heated power. Watch your enemies kneel before you, begging for their worthless lives right before you turn them into ash. You will spend the rest of your days constantly remembering those you incinerated for crossing you, the villages you raised, the innocents you burned. Mothers will cry out for their children, and children will cry out for their mothers, but they will only be met with the sound of the wind scattering their ashes across a blackened field. Do you think you are ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Now that you've decided to play Pyromancer, let me show you the tools you'll use to burden your soul. You know, having to live with all that destruction and fire and innocent screams. So first off, we'll go over the passives. Phoenix Blessing empowers nearby allies, increasing their intellect by 10% for 30 minutes. Affected allies will also regenerate 3% of their maximum mana every 5 seconds. Very useful group support tool right off the bat. Having a Pyromancer in your group seems very beneficial just because of this alone. The 3% of their maximum mana every 5 seconds. I had a Sun Cleric that really enjoyed that buff in Battlegrounds. Flamecaster's Wrath increases your spell crit rating by 20% of your intellect and causes your fire critical strikes to grant flame casting. Wow. I had a seizure there. Creating a path of flames under the target and increasing your spell haste by 10% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Also allows 25% of your mana regeneration to continue while casting. Your Firebomb ability will consume stacks of flame casting to deal 50% increased damage for each stack. Very big buff. You'll see this one a lot while you're playing. And while we're on this tab, we'll go ahead and look at Cauterized Wounds, which is 35 mana, 40-yard range. Is cast, 20-second cooldown. It says instantly remove a bleed effect from an ally and heal them for 20% of their maximum health. Only usable on targets with less than 35% health. Now, you don't actually have to use this. This is like a little bit of an, I'm getting low button. I'm trying to keep it family friendly. But anyways, you don't actually have to be bleeding to use this, and you can use this on yourself as well. There are 2 ways that it seems they want you to play Pyromancer. So I'll go over the first way, and then I'll talk about the second way, and then I'll talk about all the skills revolving outside of that way. The first major way is around like Ignite and Slagstone. So you get Ignite, which is a 65 mana, 40-yard range, 1.3 second, 6-second cast. Obviously, these numbers will vary depending on level and all that stuff. It says burns the enemy for 55 to 62 fire damage, and then an additional 374 to 396 fire damage over 22 seconds. This spell is castable while moving. If the target is in a path of flames, this ability will also strike all other targets in the path within 30 yards. So that's your main, that's one of your main abilities right here, is this Ignite. It's very useful, very nice. Next, you've got Slagstone, which is 65 mana, 40-yard range, 2.27 second cast. Hurl a molten rock that splits into smaller fragments before smashing into an enemy target, dealing 9 to 12 fire damage. The target is then covered in slag for 30 seconds, causing fire damage done to them to have a small chance to stun them for 2.5 seconds. Now this, getting Slagstone on a target is very, very big, very huge. However, there's something I think... Slag Shaping. This is the passive we want to talk about. Slag Shaping. Whenever your Ignite effect deals damage, you have a chance to make your next Slagstone instant cast and free. So basically, you get Ignite on a target and you hope that it procs for free Slagstone, because it's pretty decent damage. I know it doesn't say like it's a whole lot of damage, but it's decent damage, and it has that debuff. And then your Ignite procs can deal damage to your target and potentially stun them because they have Slagstone, and then pretty much everything else you do has a chance to stun them, since you're pretty much all fire damage. The next way they kind of want you to play the game is through Draconic Fang and Cataclysmic Breath. So I'll describe what Draconic Fang does. It is 29 mana, 10-yard range, 6-second cast. Obviously, these damage numbers and mana costs, all that stuff, vary on level. Deals 52 to 65 fire damage to an enemy target. Generates 1 breath charge, can be cast while moving. This spell grants you dragon scales for 8 seconds, increasing your armor by 120% of your intellect, reducing all fire damage you take by 15%, and granting 15% increased movement speed. Now you'll notice that this is a 10-yard range skill. So this is a much closer range ability. I mean, it's not quite melee, but it's pretty close. And you can also, one of the things they don't say this in this skill is that you can use this while moving. So you could use Draconic Fang while moving. So basically you're kind of like a melee-ish caster. And the breath charge is another thing that I can't bring up on screen right now, but I'll show you when I enter a BG or do some PvE or whatever I decide to do this for this video. You'll be able to see that you'll have a certain amount of breath charges you can charge up as like a combo point thing that doesn't matter what target you have, kind of like the Ranger. Then you have Cataclysmic Breath, 119 mana, 10-yard range, also very close. Instant cast, 10-second cooldown, consumes your breath charges to unleash a powerful breath attack upon an enemy target, dealing fire damage based on how many breath charges were consumed. Now, this doesn't, it says breath weapon, I don't know what that means. I guess it just scales purely off probably like something like spell power and, you know, the amount of charges you have for breath. It does massive damage, trust me, it's huge. I've definitely killed like a whole lot of people using this ability. Now, abilities outside of that, we can talk about Flame Step, which is helpful for Draconic Fang and Cataclysmic Breath. It's 47 mana, 45-yard range, instant cast, 40-second cooldown. You appear behind the target in a burst of fire. For the next 3 seconds, you leave a path of flames in your wake. Now, I don't think there's a Path of Flames explanation in the skill book here, but basically Path of Flames is, we'll drop a meteor here, a little orb. Path of Flames gives your enemy a movement speed slowed by 70%, all resistance reduced by 25%, and it increases ally move speed by 70%. So this is actually huge. That I guess talk about the ability that enabled that real quick. It's called Summon Flame Orb. It's an instant cast, 1-minute cooldown. Summons a Flame Orb at the target location. The Flame Orb will leave a path of flames in its wake, slowing the movement speed and reducing the fire resistance of any enemies in it. Allies in the path of flames will have drastically decreased movement speed, last up to 30 seconds. You may only have 1 Flame Orb active at a time. So I assume we get other Flame Orbs as time goes on. So it's like basically giant AoE slow. Like you're changing the terrain, and then giant AoE speed if your if your allies are running in it. It's also very thematic. It looks very cool. But that's what you get with Flame Step, and you get for you can use it on like whatchamacallit, NPCs or whatever. You can see how I've burnt up the ground there. It's pretty neat. Next, we'll talk about the other abilities. Well, there's a lot of abilities. So, Firebomb. 0.909 second cast, 113 mana, 40-yard range, 20-second cooldown. Launch an explosive sphere of flames toward an enemy target's location. When it lands, it explodes, dealing 80 to 97 fire damage to enemies within 10 yards of the impact location. And that obviously scales with the Flamecaster's Wrath. I think the cap on this, yeah, it's a cap of 3 stacks, so you can get 150% extra damage on this if you have Flamecaster's Wrath. Next up, we'll talk about Scorching Rain. This is actually an ability you get at level 1. It's 59 mana, 40-yard range, 1.36 second cast time. I do have a staff, so all this is lowered by 10%. Fire a beam of flame at an enemy, causing 81 to 93 fire damage and increasing your spell haste by 10% and your fire critical strike chance by 3% for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 4 times. So if you get the opportunity, you can really spam this. And then maybe go for Draconic Fang, or just start spamming Ignite or something like that if you're not being focused or something. Before I explain what Meteor is, let me show you how it'll set up so nicely. Phoenix Breath, 197 mana, instant cast, 15-second cooldown. It's actually amazing that it's 15-second cooldown to me. It says applies Ignite to all enemies within 12 yards and stuns them for 1 second. This spell can be cast while moving. So essentially in PvP, the way I've been using this is I get the Flame Step out, and then I drop this in the middle of a crowd. Boom, everyone's stunned, everyone's ignited. I'll probably start getting Slag Shaping procs, which will give me free Slagstone, and I just start throwing it out there on people, and it's very, very fun. But to make matters worse, because it can always get worse, you get Meteor, which is a lot of mana, but it's instant cast, 447 mana, instant cast, 40-yard range, 40-second cooldown. Calls down a meteor on the target area, dealing 197 to 216 fire damage to all enemies within 8 yards of the impact crater. If any enemies hit are affected by Ignite, the effect will be consumed to stun them for a short time. So you can literally just boom, boom, and then drop a meteor instantly and chain stun people, do a bunch of AoE damage. But I think it consumes the Ignite. Yeah, it does consume Ignite, so you won't have the dot damage on them, which is kind of unfortunate because you can spam Slagstone on people, but if you're in the middle of people, it really sets up nicely for your teammates in big BG fights and stuff like that. Lastly, you have Flames of the Fire Lord, 65 mana, instant cast, 2-minute cooldown. You enter a supreme spellcasting state for up to 10 seconds. While this effect lasts, your spell critical strike chance will be increased by 30%, and your spell's cost will be reduced by 35%. In addition, you gain immunity to stun, silence, and interrupt effects, and a 20% reduction to all damage taken for the duration. This ability is usable while stunned, silenced, or interrupted, and will remove those effects when cast. So you can basically, drop this, drop this, drop this, start flaming everybody. It's just actually wild. I actually really like this class. I think this class is, at least for me, as fun as like Tinker was, or more so. I mean, look at this. I mean, you're just creating fire all over the place. It's just actually wild. And yeah, look at this. Look at this. You just run 70% faster. You can get a lot of control over the battlefield as a Pyromancer, and it feels extremely good. I'm very impressed with the design of this class. I think it's my favorite, if not one of my favorites, alongside Tinker. So anyways, I'm gonna hop into BGs, and if I can't get queue times at 4 o'clock in the morning Central Time, then I'll show this off in PvE. Actually, I forgot one skill to talk about, which is Spell Burn, 53 mana, 30-yard range, 0.091 second cast, 15-second cooldown, counters the enemy's spell cast, preventing any spell from that school of magic from being cast for 5 seconds, generates a high amount of threat. If the target is in the path of flames, this ability will also strike all other targets in the path within 30 yards, so you get a interrupt as well. And I actually like this ability. Kind of looks like a Guild Wars 1 ability. Kind of looks like Warsong from Ritualist in Guild Wars 1. Anyways, off to whatever is next in the video. Alright, well, we are in a battleground. Looks like we got that Warsong Gulch. Gonna give it a shot. We've got a Sun Cleric on our team. Sun Clerics right now, I'm gonna say healers right now are extremely strong. Honestly, they really are incredibly strong. I've had teams where there's a Witch Doctor on the enemy team or Sun Cleric, and people are just unkillable unless there's quite a few people mobbing up. So we're gonna see how this goes. You see this Sun Cleric with the boldness he moves in? Do you think he's scared? Does he look scared? Oh, he might be in trouble here. Let's hope. Whoops. We got a critical heal. Can we? Draconic Frame. Oh, see here we got the Draconic Fang. We got this in our way, so we'll just move here, and then we can burn him and kill him. Cauterized to heal ourselves. Shout out to Udyr, dude. What's up, man? How are you? I was playing Trashy Panda. All right, dude. What's up, man? Glad to see you again. Drop the ignite on this stunned guy. We'll also drop a fireball there, so we can get the slow. Start stacking our Flame Breath here. And he's going to take big damage. There we go. 461. Not even a crit. We got a Slagstone proc. Oh my gosh, he's just living forever. Is this a Sun Cleric? No, it's a Chronomancer. Oh, he stopped us in time. Buy time. Frozen in time. Alright. He's going to run out of mana. And I'm going to capitalize on that. Oh, there we go. We got him. No problem. The 2v1, dude. No fear. We've got the 2v1 down here. Me and Udyr. Listen, it's fair and balanced. Like Fox News. Healers are just ridiculous. Let's be honest. Healers are very, very strong right now. Oh! We gotta get this guy out of here. Killed him. Demon hunters are so fast, dude. They just run away from you. They don't have to. They're non-committal. They're afraid of commitment. There we go. Goodbye. 500 damage hit. That's pretty good. Fair and balanced. As I was saying. Drop the Meteor. More stuns. Oh, we're gonna die here. Yep. Woo! Guy's burning to death. This is actually a very messy animation. I mean, look at this. We're just in the fire. It's like, the tunnel is on fire. Oh, he's a giant serpent. What the heck? Never seen this before. All right, these two healers are like taking on our entire team. It's actually wild. Healers are so strong in this game right now, it's unbelievable. At the level 30 cap, I suspect when people are like level 40, level 50, level 60, they won't be as strong. I mean, that's my suspicion. Just because some of the abilities that people get later on, it feels like maybe there'll be maybe more ways to CC people or just more damage in general. But right now, healers at level 30, insane. Just crazy. See, I'm dead, and these people are still ticking. Alright, well, we won that one. Next game. Alright, well, I'm in another battleground, and my guess is that there might be healers on the enemy team, and we don't have any. We have a Starcaller, and we have a Primalist, Udyr, Trashy Panda, once again. So let's see how this goes. Demon Hunter, Chronomancer, and a Primalist. Okay, well, they do have a Chronomancer, which is problematic for me. Seems to be like a 3v3 at 5 a.m. Good time for PvP. I wonder if everyone's European. I wonder how many Europeans we have on this server versus, you know, other time zones, other places. Am I screwing myself over? This is a... Oh. Wait. What? What? What was that? Did I just die instantly? I'm gonna have to check that in the replay. I'm gonna have to check that. That's insane. Wow. I feel sad now. He says you see nothing. Oh no. I just died instantly. What was that? Oh no. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Stunned. I'm gonna die here. Rip Reno. Oh. Maybe not. Did we get a healer? Oh, we got a healer. We got a Sun Cleric. Hell yeah! Oh, there's not enough players to sustain the game. Oh, it's gonna close in 5 minutes. No! We just got a Sun Cleric on our team. They have a healer. We had it. Well, maybe they don't have a healer anymore. I don't know. Maybe their Chronomancer left. And he's dead. And I'm giving him my buff. I don't know why he's standing there. Not doing anything about it. Seems weird. 506 crit. That was pretty good. Was that 3 stacks? I think that was 3 stacks, wasn't it? Something like that. Either way, we just fried that dude. Not enough players. Game will close in 60 seconds. That's unfortunate, but I think you guys get the idea of what the Pyromancer does and what the Pyromancer is capable of, and kind of the idea behind the class, how it's going to play. It can play as like a very close range burst damage build that like kind of stacks those breath charges with abilities that come in later, you know, like post 30, that'll help you stack more breath charges and expend them. Or you can play as like a long range caster, you know, typical caster type, but fast casting. It's very cool. I enjoy the class a lot, the fantasy of it. It's pretty nice. Alright, we're just gonna chain stun this dude for fun. And yeah. And he can't heal because I killed him. And this guy is gonna suffer the same fate. Actually, we'll go after this demon hunter. Oh my gosh, the damage, dude. The damage. It's crazy. Well, it looks like the game isn't going to end because a new person joined the game. So, we're playing this out. Oh my gosh. I love kiting with this class. It helps to have teammates around too, but man, this class is It's so fun, dude. It really is. Poor deer died, dude. They got a little chromie now. Oh man, they're getting people. Look at that. That was crazy. That's so insane. Man. I am dying. Oh, AoE stun. Everyone's ignited. Let me run out of here. If I can. I don't know if I can. It doesn't seem like I can. Wow, I can't believe I lived through that. That was insane. What the hell? It feels like they're getting more people than we're getting now. Unfortunate. But that healer did an amazing job keeping me alive. It's actually remarkable that they're able to do that. And I'm dead. Oh, big 580 crit. But they're being healed by another person, unfortunately. That was a big crit. Oh my god, that was 513, no crit. Stuck in time. Let's see how this goes. Stunned. No longer stunned. Drop the AoE damage. Woo. They're all on me again. Drop them. And I'm dead. Man, it is lasting a while. How many people have there with me? It's like a 3v4. It's not very good for us, but it's fun. It is a lot of fun. The healers are they just keep you so alive, and Pyromancer CC is just nuts. Alright, well that's the second one. We lose that one, but that's okay. Not a big deal. It's just alpha. It's not like it's ranked or anything. And yeah, that is Pyromancer. Got a lot of CC, quite a bit of damage. Later on, it'll get even more damage, you know, as we go past 30, whenever that releases. And yeah, I think it's been a very, very fun class. Been on par with Tinker for me. And y'all got to see the effectiveness of healers. So that was cool too. Anyways, y'all have a good day. Don't try to think about the smoldering ashes of innocent people for too much longer, you know, and yeah, have a good one. Peace.